He always draws me as T-Rex. I which I like. It's kind of cute. It's like, but I understand the short arms comment too. Okay. This is awkwardly angled. Not while we're live, at least. Just like you do. Welcome. That would be a really funny opening. It would be hilarious. Are you kidding?
Okay, wait, no. If it was a foam sword, it would be funny.
That's what I was thinking. It would not be funny if it was a real sword. We'd probably like get on the news or something, which would be okay. Like
they say there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Exactly.
Wow.
Laughing lady bludgeoned by actual sword. It live feed.
By small child.
Okay, so we're live on YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, you're done.
Oh my gosh.
Skull crusher.
Here, you sit here. Are you sitting down?
Can we get another big chair?
I don't.
That one is
Okay, yeah, sure.
Big chair.
Just going to. So, if we could hit share on, if you have YouTube or Facebook,
YouTube.
the like opening shot is always the worst.
YouTube.
Are you selling a piece? Your rides here.
Do you want to sell your piece first? Do you have to go? Do you need to bring your yellow shoes, or are you wearing those ones home? Make sure you bring the right one.
How's your day? Colin? Not great? Lost your voice? Oh. I wasn't sure if you were going to bring that shelf. Would that have been easier?
That would just be funny. Just somebody pulls a shelf. Ta-da!
I can't hear.
There's lots of people.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't sure if there was.
Oh, yeah. Didn't know if there was. That is totally fair.
Wait, Colin, you lost your voice?
Which do you like better?
Sad.
I love the Chimera. Okay, so welcome to the 546th time we've gotten
And
together.
our
To
59th.
together.
Can you get me 2 pieces of tape? Our 59th last Rumble.
So
No cheers?
I'll be.
We're going to hit.
I just heard. Oh.
We're going to hit 600 next year, right before we shut down. We'll hit I think it's going to hit 603 in total. And so we have 2 Christmases left. Actually, it occurs to me that the next Christmas will be the week after our last Rumble. I do have a plan for what's next. But this space we've been here. Bye, little buddy. I love you.
Thank you so much, Colin. Bye.
Thank you,
Felix.
Colin. We've been here for 10 years, signed 2 5-year leases, and the pressure on the buying art public to support us while they're losing their homes is mounting. So we're going to do something kind of interesting. I'm actually kind of excited about it. I'm glad that we have a year to make peace with the separation.
Okay, well, okay.
What happened in the back of this? But I am pretty stoked about what's next as well. And I think you guys will like it too.
Okay. Okay. So everyone has hit share.
Chimera.
There are people. That is so fun.
What did Galen call it? A Cimera or something like that.
That's fun.
He's from another planet. I coach with this. You worked with Gunther as well, right?
Yeah.
But he's from Saskatchewan. And we know all the same wrestling moves, but they all have different names and all the same wrestling games. And it's just like watching somebody, like everything about him's the same, except from then it's like, instead of like purpley, he says tomato or something. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to paint this tomato over here. It's like, dude, that's purple. It's like such a weird shift for me when he uses not wrong names, but just different names for wrestling moves from Saskatchewan. What is that all about?
Okay, so how we do this. Artists set their minimum bid. half the money goes to the artist and half the money goes to just pay rent here so we can continue on the last few.
$0 goes to Rich.
$0. We both put all of our sales in just for good faith.
So all the
and,
money we make, not including the money we spend, and not including the time we put in, adds up to 2 Mustangs and 2 Volkswagens. And I used to say 2 Mustangs and a Camaro, except from it's easier to say 2 Mustangs and 2 Volkswagens because, like, when I break it up, I think I put enough money into art supplies over the last 10 years that I could have bought 2 Volkswagen Beetles. Right?
Right.
Whereas, like, saying, like, well, half of a Mustang went to supplies and this and that. But
do you think Felix wanted to sell his
I do.
thing tonight? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to sell this one first?
No, it's in my hands. I'm impulsive. Is the sound on? Kelly, give me a sign that the sound is on.
I'm not using the mic here, but
Also, this. If you have any kind of social media, and you can find us on YouTube or Facebook, if you click share, it will dramatically make our lives better.
everybody's lives. Because the more people.
The more, because it's not a huge crowd in here, but that's because a lot of people are rumbling from home. And so it helps us a lot if you click share. Come on in.
Hi, how are you? Good. Come on in. So we're just starting the auction. We have a habit of starting with the cute kids' works. Felix had to run.
Well, I look young, but I'm not really that young. I'm old AF.
No.
Yes, I
Okay.
am.
So this is by Felix Theroux, the younger version of him.
Who also donates 100% of his sales to the gallery.
And so he just did a really gorgeous magical image here. He was talking about the magic coming out of the wizard's hands, and he was talking about the he really planned the metallic
He was
brickwork.
meticulous about it, really.
Meticulous about the metallic brickwork. And yeah, so this was just super fun watching him do this. Opening bid is $5 for this piece.
So we have 4 shares.
Yay!
5 now that I'm sharing.
Yay! Hi! Come on in.
Come on in.
Hello! Nice to see you. All right, so oh yeah, lots of things. This is by Felix Theroux. So just so everyone knows too, bids you can text 403-629-7424,
That's 403-629-7424.
or you can yell
Call
out the
now
number
for a free
here.
set of steak knives.
We actually had to buy steak knives last time you said
403-629-7424.
that to give away.
It got my
Actually,
attention.
Right?
We've had to give away 3 sets of steak knives because I just have this glitch where
You say it,
I can't stop saying it.
right?
But you know what? It feels great to give steak
Steak
knives
knives
away.
away. Awesome.
We didn't say they were good steak knives.
Okay, so
Okay, what am I doing?
this
Felix.
is by Felix Theroux. Opening is $5, and he did a really magical scene. This is, notice the magic coming from the wizard's hands.
Here, I'm
Here.
going to do
Yeah,
something.
really great. And the magical castle,
What do you think the opening bid is going to be?
$5.
$5. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I must be crazy.
So these are the buttons on his cloak. Wonderful. Okay. So we have been mostly working with e-transfers for paying and for paying out the artists. We do have cash. We have change if people want to pay that way. And sometimes the bank works. Hello. Come on in. There's lots of seats if you'd like to join us too. Come on in.
Ready?
Lots of chairs. So it's also black light. Feel that is magic. Not that I doubted, but magic.
Okay.
Beautiful. So opening bid is $5 for Felix's beautiful piece. And we will, how we used to do it before COVID is we would open stuff and close stuff and then keep going. But we just open up a lot of bids. And then if people are able to join us later on, then they're like, oh, is Felix Felix is be still available?
There are now
Please say
15
yes.
people watching
Oh
us
my
online.
goodness.
So it used to be like to stay open, we needed like 45 people in this space. I think we have about 7 here, but there's also 15 here. And the cute thing is sometimes those 15 people at home are watching in groups of 5. So,
Exactly.
so it's scary for us because sometimes we're like, oh, there's nobody here. And then not that you guys are nobodies, you guys are very special. But like, thank you. And if you can find us online and share us, it's so cute because there's no incentive for you if you're here to buy art.
To
To create any kind of competition for yourself. What people do. When we first opened in this space, I won an award. I was so excited about it. At the Plazzies, I won a Plazzy, and it was the best interviewer. And can I tell the whole story?
Sure.
Okay, so they interviewed me, and it was really sweet because I won't go into the details about why they chose to interview me, but they interviewed me. And I was like really moved to be part of this, the Plazzies. Like really, like it was super important to me. Now, the reason I started the story was we were supposed to be at the interview at 10 o'clock, and we closed this place at about 11. So we actually left the building in charge of the people running, buying it. If like if you had a McDonald's and you were able to leave your McDonald's with the cash drawer open, have people make their own burgers and leave the cash in the till. It was super amazing that we were able to like go to the Plazzies.
We're like, thanks, you guys just lock up.
And we
then
just left the keys and somebody locked up for us and threw the keys somewhere and it all worked out. But then they phoned me and they said, we're giving out an award for the best guest for the Plazzies. And I was like, oh, like I would actually like that. Like I'm kind of anti-awards, but in this case I actually wanted that award. And then they're like, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm just getting my hearts up because like probably, you know, like the other guy was like a war vet that was like taking photos.
No, it's
and,
serious.
Like, they're all like really cool stuff, not like me. And so I was sure there's no chance I could win. I thought they must have been pretty hard up for a 4th person to be in the running when they picked me. And I had every intention just to be flattered that I was in the running of best guest. And then, but they asked me if I would write a speech just as I'd be ready in case I won it. And I was like, I don't think you understand how bad I want this. That like, if I write a speech and I don't win, it'll kill me. But if I just convince myself it's not going to happen, it'll be fine. So I actually came up with a scheme. You scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really scheme very often, but I came up with a scheme. And the scheme was, I called them up and I said, I got this idea for kind of a happening, like Andy Kaufman style. How about like when I don't win, I take this sign and I smash it over the winner and I'll have a big scene and we'll have a wrestling thing on the stage and I'll run off with the prize. And they're like, yeah, let me get back to you, see if that could work. And they called me back and they said they liked the idea. I wasn't going to smash the winner because they couldn't account for like the safety of the winner, but they were going to bring in one of their comedians.
Bananas.
And so I was to go up and think that I won the award when I didn't, and then smash the styrofoam thing over top of the and I hit him hard. I feel really bad because I thought it was just styrofoam, but the one fella that I hit, I just really almost crushed him with this styrofoam. So it hit everywhere. But I tricked them into telling me I didn't win by creating this event where like I was going to smash the winner, the real winner, and they're like, yeah, it'll work. And I'm like, oh, I didn't win. And so I didn't write I didn't write a speech to win. And then I went up and we went through the whole pantomime. I smashed the thing over the guy. And then I was kind of sulking off stage. And they're like, and the winner is Rich Theroux. I'm like, oh, I don't even care about that guy. And the winner is Rich Theroux. I'm like, no. I kept walking just like, go back, you won. And I was like, oh my goodness, I did win. So I went back up and I actually nailed the speech. You have a video of it. Yeah. But basically what I was saying was, when I was a kid, it blew my mind that teachers I knew and people I knew could have gone to Woodstock and didn't. I was like, oh, you're this old and it's this date and I wasn't born yet, so my life is forfeit.
Yeah.
But you could have been at Woodstock and you didn't go. And they're like, well, I was busy that weekend. You don't know what it was like. Like we didn't know Woodstock was going to be a thing. We didn't go. And the other thing was Second City that I thought of, like when I grew up watching SCTV, the idea that you could have been in the Second City watching these comedy, Jim Belushi and stuff, and you didn't show up those nights. And I remember in my speech saying, like, I think 50 years from now at the Plaza, people like, you could have gone to the Plaza? What the hell were you doing on a Wednesday night that was so important that you didn't get to the Plaza? And that was my speech, and I got all choked up, and you got a
That's
video of
good.
it.
Yeah.
And I have
We carry the little Plaza around.
I have
with us
several
everywhere we
awards. Some of them were quite prestigious, but the little spray painted owl,
go.
piggy bank from Valley Village is my prize, most famous award. I love it.
It is so cute. So
And
cute.
that was quite honestly, like, I'm autistic, so every year she tries to surprise me on my birthday. You cannot lie to me. So she's lying to me and it just hurts. Like, why is she saying words that aren't true? And she wants to propose to me on the roof on my birthday. They fooled me so hard that I wasn't going to win that award, that when I actually, like, I remember viscerally feeling like I'd got punched in the heart when on the third time, somebody grabbed my sleeve and pulled me back and said, fuck off, my life is over. I didn't win. My language tonight.
I know, you just must be so
I'd
relaxed.
like to apologize to all the parents watching tonight
And,
and the young people
and the young people.
and the guy doing my police check right now.
Did you know if we don't get it in on time, we can't come back to work until they get it?
Why did we apply?
I don't know. We haven't heard back yet. So
When's the deadline?
it's just like next month. So, anyways, this is by Kasha.
That might affect my retirement.
No, I know. We're like, sorry. Let's just think about art. This is by Kasha. Just one of Rich's
Former students.
So she came down tonight. We had a really nice evening being able to chat and make art. Just what a beautiful little rat. So opening is $5, and so this is really fun. Randy's joining from the West Coast. There's people joining from all over. So this is hello to everybody. This is by Kasha. This lovely little piece is opening at $5.
I'll bid $5.
$5, and it's, I think, is it pencil crayon? It's so beautiful. Pencil
Yeah.
crayon on a beautiful
I'm gonna get it
paper,
tattooed right here.
right over your
Right
heart.
chest. Yeah.
$5 currently to Rich Teru. And we can maybe, if you want to cast it around. You're so welcome. So, should I have turned up the light a little bit?
$5 on the rat to. Where's my phone?
It's behind us here.
Let's turn that beeper on.
Is it
If you guys
Morgan?
have any, if you guys have any cat photos, also, if you want to send us cat photos, kind of keeps me on the ball, because sometimes we forget what we're doing up here and we forget to check for the bids from online. Morgan, I bid $5. You're gonna have to bid more than $5. That's that lag, though, right?
Yeah, totally. And while we're, like I said, we'll just keep opening up new bids. So feel free also, if you see something that you're curious about, we just keep pulling up artwork. But if you're like curious about something, feel free to be like, what about that piece? This is our friend from across the street, Brenda.
Kid Gordon Liddy.
This
He's
is
the man that ate that rat. That was a Rusty Nail song. Kelly, she bids $5 on the rat. She drew me a cat.
a cat and a rat. So this is hand painted glasswork by Brenda. Opening is
That's not hand painted.
no, it's in the glass.
Yeah, but it's
she
not
said
painted.
hand
Yeah,
glass
she's using the wrong
painted.
words.
Okay.
She made this glass.
I understand what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But it's misleading what you're saying. She created this glass.
She's lying.
Okay.
It's not even glass. It's actually your imagination. No, but this is handmade glass. I don't know where the word paint comes into there, because you can't put paint on glass.
Right.
You can't
No,
put paint inside glass. There is colored glass in here
Right.
that she made by hand.
Right.
And that I believe, but like, I think if you say hand painted glass,
Right. And,
people that understand glass will say that's not real.
right.
That's not a thing.
100%.
Right, okay.
And we've had people who have painted like glass with paint, and that's not what this is. So this is right. That's
Now,
in the glass.
That said, you could fill this with water and put one painted glass fish in it,
Oh.
which is actually a fish that's clear like glass
Wow.
Only it's got colors
It's multi-layered.
because they painted it.
Yeah.
Ask me how they paint the fish.
How do they paint the fish?
They inject it with paint.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Painted glass fish.
Don't do that. But this is opening at $50.
Don't do that.
Don't.
You know what? Every pet store has painted glass fish, but now that we talk about it, it does sound a lot worse than I thought. Eh?
Yeah.
Like you picture guys in those monkey masks running in, like breaking windows and setting all the painted glass fish free in the river.
The idea is to set them free before they get injected. Okay. Do we have?
$10 on the rat.
Can I treat you?
Oh yeah, please.
The rat's now
Thank
$10.
Rat. Who to who?
Morgan,
Morgan.
what else would bid against me on the rat that I want?
All right. So we got Morgan here with us, watching. Look what Morgan painted.
Look what I can do.
That is so nice.
What?
Just everyone, just the ahs and the ohs. Is so
That's a
beautiful.
nice place.
Such a nice place. So this is opening at $30. This is acrylic on canvas.
And there's
Morgan.
21 people with us.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah,
actually,
right? 'Cause
That's
that might be
gigantic.
100.
Right? They have parties at their house.
Problem is, like,
Stop moving. Just let them fall in love with the sheep.
it's not sheep,
It's a big.
I know my animals.
Ram. Bighorn ram.
right?
Ram sheep.
It's a sheep. It's a bighorn
Yeah.
sheep. It's a
Bighorn sheep. It's a male. It's called
Male.
a ram because it's a
Ram.
male.
Man.
Oh, he actually knows all this
That's.
stuff.
I know. I'm saying it.
You listen, and so you know
I'm
about
listening.
Drayden.
Yeah.
And I painted a moose, and Drayden and his friends would come in and look at my moose and diagnose what kind of moose and what season it was in.
That's so nice.
So from the paintings I did, based
Yeah.
on the photos that I looked at,
Yeah.
they were able to tell the exact kind of moose.
Yeah.
And sometimes if it was in heat or not, like it was like it's remarkable.
you were talking about the footprints, right? Like
that was
the-
Richard, yeah.
Richard
But
would talk
they-
about
they
the
actually-
spread of
and the thing
the
is,
not paws.
all right, I
that's
know
all
there's
right.
several artists in the room, but sometimes you pull out a paintbrush and you might have several photos of mooses.
Mice?
Meese.
That's not a real
funny.
thing. You have several mooses to choose from, and you're just kind of making up something kind of moose-like. And so, on the day that I was most cavalier about moose inventing, Drayden and his hunting friends came in from like hunting class because they do that where I teach, and they were looking at my moose, deciding what kind it was, and to my absolute joy, they picked out the right kind of moose and all the things based on like the number of spikes on the handlers. I'm like, I wasn't even counting, but I did get it right close enough that they were able to. Do you remember this?
I remember it briefly. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were all on pot. That's why.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
would
just kidding.
never. I was a great student.
It's like a landscape thing.
Yeah.
What's the bid on the rest?
What is the opening bid for this?
30 is the opening.
I'll take 30.
30, what's your name?
Tobias.
Tobias, thank you so much. So Morgan.
else big.
And Tobias, have we met you before?
Yeah,
And did you look different?
probably.
Did
What
you
what was different the last time we met you?
Probably might have shaved, but
Okay, you shaved since or
yeah, no.
okay?
I was a lighting tech at the plaza.
Oh, that's crazy. So you're talking because Elisa was
Is there any
too.
chance I hit you with the styrofoam?
No, it wasn't. I remember that show.
Was
though.
that
It was
Jaron?
hilarious.
Was that his name? Jaron?
Jaron, yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
I think
sure.
it was Jaron.
He's
He's in a banana
It's funny you
suit.
mentioned that though, because
It's super funny because I didn't know you're here, and I'm just rolling through my
the
mind.
host of that show might be coming down here tonight.
Oh, that'd be amazing!
Yep.
Is that your surprise?
Ah, what a good night!
Just happened to be in town. He was gonna. Yeah.
That's crazy. Crazy fun.
So, what was it like sitting in the room listening? Did you think I was telling you that story for your sake?
I was laughing my ass off.
What a
Because I do shit like this, and then I go, "How much of that story was true?" You know?
That was awesome. No,
Yeah.
That's great. You got a great memory. That was how many years ago? That's
It's been a
4
minute.
years.
It's the best, one of the best nights of my life. I married Jess on the roof on my birthday. No, she proposed to me on my birthday. We got married in August. The first time I hold my kids. there's very like graduating from art school, high school, or university didn't come anywhere close to the night I won that award. It really, I don't know why I wanted it so bad, but I wanted that more than anything I've ever wanted in terms of things that could be awarded. I wanted it so bad. And I didn't think I deserved it. I honestly thought like it would be stupid for me to win this. For all I know, that it was just to pretend that.
Okay, is it okay if I show the next piece?
Nah.
Yeah, he's having big feelings.
Come on in.
Okay, this beautiful turtle is by Alicia. And big round of applause to Alicia. Is it your first time selling through us? Yeah, big round of applause for Alicia. So this beautiful celestial turtle. Did you want to say anything about
Hey, come on up for a
piece?
second, because I was just talking about you.
Sorry.
Come.
Okay.
I was, and I didn't know you had a representative here.
Just so we can keep bidding on this piece, the opening
Hey,
was
this is about me
$40.
right now.
I know. I'm just
Come.
telling people at home.
Come.
Opening is $40 for the beautiful
Come.
turtle. And you can see
Is it okay that I'm groping you?
Yeah.
So I was just telling the story about when I won my Plaza.
Oh,
it's
very
the
good.
greatest honor I had, and I didn't know that you had a friend here.
I do.
And I told that whole story, and then right after he told me he was there that night,
yeah.
and then I checked myself to make sure I didn't say anything inappropriate. But
How you
thank
doing,
you so
man?
much.
Yeah.
Good
Good
to
to see
see you.
My hands are cold.
Your comedy lately's been killing me. It's hilarious.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool.
Very good.
You
I
never
appreciate
know.
that.
Very cool.
Well, this is my last night in Calgary.
Where are you gonna go?
I'm moving up north to Manning, Alberta, 10 hours north.
What are you gonna do there?
Actually, I'm starting paint nights. I'm doing my own paint
Very
nights.
cool.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna leave Jess in control of this because I want to chat.
For sure. It's nice seeing
Oh,
you. Yeah, it was such a small world because he was telling the story about the Plaza and Elise was here and like Tobias is here and they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, Okay. Wow. Okay, so Alicia's beautiful turtle is opening at $40. So it's acrylic on panel. And did you want to say anything about it?
I guess like the concept was it's a sea turtle phantom, so they're going extinct, and it's to represent that if we don't do something about like the change, like global warming, that they'll become phantoms of the sea.
That really adds weight.
Yeah, it does.
No, it's really powerful because you can see like it's looking right in the eyes and you can really feel it. So people at home, I just want to make sure you can hear the idea of the phantom and the idea of taking care of what we have now so these animals don't turn into the phantoms of the sea. That's really, yeah, the eyes staring right at you is like, that's so powerful. Actually, I'm going to bid 40. I have a collection of really beautiful turtle paintings in my classroom, and so if I get it, I will definitely hang it up at in my classroom. So I'm gonna bid 40, and if anyone else wants to bid against me, I hope Rich didn't take his phone. He might have. We're gonna work on getting the bids from text message from him somehow. So you can text 436-297-424, or you can bid out loud here. So it's currently at $40. To me, and I just want to show some of the pieces because there's some here. So this one, it's always more fun when Felix is selling his own piece, so don't feel bad if no one bids on this one. We'll make sure that maybe he can sell it next time he comes. He has a really good collection in his bedroom too, so that's really fun. All right, so next there's then the Rams making its way through. Rich painted this one tonight. It's the Chimera. So this ram is by Morgan, opening $30. And it really does have that really profound presence when you see it up close. That's the one thing I love hearing consistently is when people come to pick up the work. They're always really in beautiful shock because if they're online and they see the work, they're like, oh, that's beautiful. But then you can't feel a piece when you're over the internet as well as when you're in here. So I do love seeing people's faces when they come to pick up the work. That is really fun. This is super fun. Rich has painted this chimera, and we found a like animal, like a toy from Michael's. But the interest, my mom like crocheted a chimera, and it's like funny. Like I just can't stand. Like I laugh so hard whenever I see it because the heads are gigantic and they're just like shoved on the different size and the snake tail, and it's just like the funny. Like I should have brought it to show because it's the cutest thing in the whole world. So we have this like crocheted chimera in our house, and then we just like sit there and laugh at it and hold it. And then we found this toy at Michael's, and so Rich was thinking about the chimera a lot. This one time at school I had this orange, and it was a chimera, but it wasn't like this fun. It was like imagine all of the outside of the orange was like one kind of orange, but then one slice of it looked like a different orange, but it was growing together. And I was asking all the science teachers, like, what is this? And they're like, it's a chimera. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, where's the snake tail? But I guess it's just like when two species are together. And that was really weird. And it even looked different inside the orange. So this, he's been opening the framed ones at 20. So I'm going to say opening 20 for the chimera. 25? 30?
35.
40.
50.
This hasn't happened in a while.
Section.
There's a lot of chimera on that wall.
I know.
Yeah. It's pure magic.
Seems like you guys wanted more.
Yeah. So you're at 50.
Here, do you guys?
50.
Oh, you see it up close.
Oh. Wow, it's super cool up close.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Nice job on the bidding. Yeah.
What's a bit at?
She will be mine. 50 is yours last bid? Yes.
It's your birthday. I can't take it.
Oh. Don't let that stop you. Just like I love it. No, yeah.
It's your birthday.
Oh, that's so funny. I didn't still think it was your birthday. I said happy birthday to you earlier online, and
celebrating it all week.
that's amazing. That's good. That's amazing.
It's a birthday month. Yeah.
Amazing. I think that's key. What is the bid at? I'm not
50? 50.
to Lisa.
I don't like the way you're looking at me. That's a scheming gaze.
So there's a few. I'll show some more of Rich's while we're here. So this is beautiful. He did this in like 5 minutes. He looked at yeah. It was like he worked on the chimera first, and then he worked on this gorgeous piece.
Oh, I love that.
That's another one. Like we can pass this one around. It's just like the details that I just actually saw now. This one will be opening $5. So he worked on this one and the chimera kind of simultaneously, and then he was like, $8.40. I have time. And then he just like made this, and then I looked after. I was like, what the hell? So
It's not human.
no, he's not. He's like pure magic.
Are they each $5?
Yeah, the unframed ones are $5.
Okay,
Yeah.
I did 5 for both, or 10
5.
then.
Yeah, so 5 each.
Yeah.
And what's your name?
Jess.
Jess. Oh, hi.
My mom's favorite bird is like magpies, so totally give it to her. Steal for
So each of the unframed ones are
Yeah.
currently at 5 to Jess.
Like that contrast is so beautiful. 8:40, I got time.
I know. I was
Like,
like-
what?
and then you blink, and I'm like, what the heck?
That's insane.
It's just real.
to paint those circles.
$10.
$10? Okay.
Oh. 15.
Okay.
25.
Everyone loves your
It's a bidding
artwork.
war.
Oh,
There's
what's
so many
happening?
bidding wars on all of your pieces.
Oh,
It's
isn't
so
that
fun.
nice?
I'll go 30 on it.
30?
Which one are you looking at?
All of them.
Oh,
We're doing multitasking. It's
That's
crazy.
see no evil, speak no evil.
We got 50 on the Chimera right now.
50? Yeah, so it's currently, the Chimera is currently at 50 to Elisa. The Magpie is currently at 5 to Jess. Um,
35 for this.
35 to Jess. Did you get any bits while you're?
Dinah just called.
It's beautiful.
I didn't bring my friends to do like, but it is kind of fun.
We had like the card drawing
It's
earlier.
kind of fun.
What is the bird? The bird
Bird is the word.
is the word.
Bird. Bird is the word. Bird's currently at $5 for
$55 on the Chimera.
to Dinah.
60.
Okay.
All right, this is a little bit sketchy that when I leave the room, suddenly the pieces start flying out the door.
It's like you ramped everyone up with your beautiful stories, and then I was like, and he did this, and he did this, and he did this, and then everyone's in awe. Dinah says 65
For what? For what?
for the Chimera.
Wasn't that exciting?
Oh, there's something happening.
Okay. Wait, what's
70.
happening? No, you're calling somebody.
Oops, sorry.
I think it's Dinah accidentally pocket dialed at us.
Oh, right, because she's texting.
Oh, look at all these
Oh
people
my
there.
God, Rich!
You forgot to do your job.
Rich!
Or did I have that in my pocket? When I
Oh,
went
yeah,
out?
you were out. It's okay.
Ah.
So, Alicia's turtle is currently at $45 too. Debbie,
Did we talk about where is it?
the turtle,
The
like
turtle.
behind you. Look how beautiful. So Alicia was talking that it's a phantom of the sea. It's the idea of not letting them disappear.
Mm.
Taking
And
care
it is a
of our
weird
Earth.
sense of like
Select-
a celestial space turtle. And it's a nice piece to sell here on Turtle Island today on Indigenous Remembrance Day. Did I say that correct?
Veterans, Indigenous Veterans Day. Yeah.
Indigenous Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a mixed thing because
Yeah.
Canada sucks.
No, it sucked. It's getting better
Yeah.
or worse. I'm not sure.
We're tr-
Well,
I'm not up to date on the
Well,
current state of
I
affairs.
really love this painting anyways. I don't know about the whatever else, but this is beautiful.
because I mean, the thing is that the laws were set up that if you join the army, you'd lose your rights.
Yeah.
And that's
Morgan bid $10 on the Magpie. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
That's okay.
15.
15 to Jess. Okay. When there's 12 messages, that's super fun. Rishma, the bid for the Magpie is currently at 15.
You never know, hey. Like sometimes, like the one that you're like, I'll just rip this.
And
then-
Dinah,
The
the
one people
Chimera is currently at 70. Oh, Kelly bid 20. I have to one eye it. 20 on the Magpie. And what is that framed piece behind Rich? I was waiting for you to come back to talk about that.
There's several framed
The-
pieces.
Would you like the nudes or the not nude?
We're all nude under our clothes. What is this piece? I married an incredibly complex woman, and she is just a tumbleweed of puzzlery, and she's gorgeous and funny. But every now and then, one claw comes out and will cut your eyeball out, and we have been spending. Sometimes I was saying earlier, 20 hours a day, 20 days in a row, trying to figure out who we are. And I'd say we're pretty smart, right?
We're trying to be.
In our own way, we're pretty smart. And we're both good communicators, right?
Rishma bid 25 on the
She
Magpie.
has a TED Talk. I have a TED Talk. She has a book. I have 3 books. And as bright as we are, and as in love as we are, it's still a lot of work sometimes.
Yeah.
So
That's the one thing, because
the other part of the story is
he's
Jesse-
a writer and I'm a writer, and we're both like, I misinterpreted his words, and
Right.
and I was like, how do people that don't love words communicate? Like,
Yeah.
how does this work? Like, this is hard.
So on top of that, Jess and I were best friends for 2 years before we started dating. And there's things you'll tell your best friend that you don't plan to date that you wouldn't tell somebody that you were courting. So we had this negotiation of like who we were, the crap we told each other, who we become, who we want to be, who we are. And every time we find a new lens to look at that through, we have to run through and figure everything out again. So at one time we were just looking at the chakras and thinking, oh, well, if we look at it this way, it makes perfect sense. And then another time we're looking at this and that. And I've been doing a lot of studies about studying about neuroscience. I don't know what you're laughing at, but so like people talk about dopamine just as a throwaway word about how dopamine is like this happy drug, but I've been breaking down the different hormones and
Kelly bid
neurotransmitters.
27 on the magpie. Sorry, keep talking.
And having sort of figured that out in my head to a useful extent, we realized we have to go back and map our way through these horror stories we told each other when we were planning not to date. And so this is a collection of like a not very sweet way to word it would be Jesse's baggage, right?
Well, it's like like you said, the horror stories. Like there's these things that we like make like
This,
like
okay,
stories that we
let me
tell
put that
about
in a more
ourselves.
poetic way.
No,
This
it's
is
like
a visual
so
narrative
much.
of what
You have to see this one up close. Like it's
beautiful
so...
young lady figuring out who she is and what her soul deserves, fighting through an ugly universe, trying to express and discover herself at the same time. All of the pain and anguish. And this is why she likes me, is I accidentally said one time, I bet you it's harder being beautiful than people give you credit for. And she's like, he really understands me. But you had a hard life, right? And I would have looked
Everybody does in a different way.
yeah,
That's what we're
but
talking.
but this is like it's a story of breaking through expectations and those prisons we put ourselves in. And I would be very happy if we passed this around to look at.
Is this sorry? Just before you do,
She
is
has a
this,
glass figure that she's hiding behind.
Oh, now as soon as you saw
What did you think you were
it,
talking about?
because
There's also a glass ball and a crocodile and an
and a
octopus
ghoul.
and a
and-
crow and yeah, lots of ghouls. And guess what else, Jesse?
I was you're just holding.
Thank you.
Now that said, when Jesse and I tease each other, it's super cute, but when I tease her, it's kind of ugly. So people don't like to see
No.
me poking fun at her beauty.
You're not poking fun.
But I do want to say with all, the utmost respect is that there's 12 years of trying to. The last time we kind of went through this, we stayed up 20 days straight and talked 20 hours a day. And about 50 days in, she smacked her forehead like those old V8 commercials. And she said, you mean when I said this, this, and this, you thought I meant this, this, and this? And I'm like, yeah, because he said this, this, and this. And she's like, and we were completely on opposite sides of the universe. I mean, even in sitting in this room, right? You think you're having the same experience as the person next to you. If you're facing them, they're seeing a different wall than you are. If you're next to them, they're seeing it from one vantage point over. We are in the same spaces together, but we're not. We're trapped in these meat prisons.
Cages, yeah.
Yeah, and we can't really connect. And then when you do connect, it's pretty magic. So that is a 12-year breakthrough of like day one. We just met, but
Yay!
jeepers, you're cute.
Fiona bid $40.
Nice,
on it.
nice.
Yeah.
And we were donated a whole bunch of frames on the same day that I was trying to kick my habit of painting in black light reflective. And so I started getting some watercolors and some gouache, which is nice because I can sit down and bang out 20 paintings. And now we're able to just throw them in these nice, really high quality frames.
This is also by Morgan. So this is also opening at 30. So Morgan has the RAM.
30.
The time to Jess?
Yeah.
30 to Jess. Perfect.
40.
Tobias?
45.
I've known Morgan for 12 years. And
50.
I'm gonna say
55.
in this span of time I've known
60.
Morgan, this is the best piece that
65.
I've ever seen him made. And it's like it's absolutely, for those of you at home, it's absolutely gut-wrenching in person. You'll have this on your wallet, and every time you see it, you'll get a little hit of adrenaline thinking, I'm alive and that tiger didn't eat me. Because you can feel him about ready to jump through the canvas and eat you.
Yeah, so there's so many things to this. The floral and the greenery in around the back. His aunt is a really like well-known painter in her own right and does this beautiful like brushstroke technique, and it's more like folk art, like she teaches it, and it's like this really like structured folk art style. And then I love that he takes her style and integrates it into his own work as well. It's like it's just really
70.
No pressure. If you don't buy this, you'll spend the rest of your life missing it.
You're really helping right now. 75.
The days you woke up and you look around your house and like, you know, what make this house nice is a tiger.
Yeah.
That tiger I didn't get that night. Have we timed anything out?
This one's at 40.
It's at 40, yeah. 50, yeah. So it's currently
Okay.
at 50.
Let's
to
time a
Lisa.
few of these out. Who's got the magpie?
Here, let me sorry. Sorry, thank you. Yeah, Magpie is currently at 27 to Kelly.
$27 going once. $27 going twice. Do we have somebody writing down numbers? Or you doing it?
I
She hates multitasking. You're doing really well.
thank you.
And I left you alone. $27 going 3 times. Now, this is the magical thing about online bidding is we're going to give it a 10-minute
10
lag
to 10.
just because Richard in Illinois might not get this message for 10 minutes. And there's other people. We used to have good-looking Daniel in London, and there's somebody a couple people on the Sunshine Coast. And so when we say 10 minutes, we mean like 10 minutes provided nobody calls in from a long way away and says, please, can I bid on that? And then sometimes if it's like 12 minutes, we'll just ask, like, is it okay if this person gets their bid through? Because we're just trying to accommodate the people that are watching from home and respect the people that came in.
Yeah.
And it's
Just- Like you said, you're trying to make everyone happy all the time.
all the time.
Debbie just bid 55 on the framed piece. Debbie.
Well, Debbie would be Jesse's mom. And this would be quite poetic for her mom to have this as evidence.
She was listening to you
Yeah.
talk, and she was.
But I'm going to bid 60.
That's the funniest. It would be poetic.
She just went rich.
I never knew I would have so much fun with my parent-in-laws, mother and father-in-laws.
Yeah.
They're really fun.
Okay. Do you want to time out some stuff?
Yeah, I timed out the magpie.
Magpie. Do you want to grab the cute?
Let's time out some of
Oh, sure.
these. Did the Speak No Evil get a bid?
It's currently at 35 to Jess.
Going once, going twice, going 3 times. I think it's probably, I'm just going to hand it to you. Where'd you go? Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
And then the Chimera. Galen
Sev-
called
72 Elisa.
it a chimera. That really freaked me out. Going once, twice, 3
Freaking out.
times. I know that's not very dramatic, but there's a 10-minute lag for the chimera. Can I hand it to you now? And then did we put I'm sure that this has been kind of the thing lately as I've been painting with watercolors, so I move a lot faster, but Felix has gone home. Debbie, my mother-in-law, made Felix a one-eyed, one-horned flying purple people eater, and I happened to be painting this, and people
the
kept
same
saying,
time?
"Is that a one-eyed, one-horned flying purple people eater?" I'm like, it could be. I don't have an explanation for what this is. I don't know what I was doing. I honestly,
You and Felix were talking about your book. The dragons and the cars were dragon. And Felix was like
okay.
going.
So yeah. So in my novel, The River Troll, the narrator just offhandedly explains to you, we live right over the train tracks on 9th Avenue, so the trains shake our building at night, like in the movies where you go and catch the pots as they fall off the thing. And I was just offhandedly explaining that if you've ever wondered what happened to dragons, is they just covered themselves in armor and they slither across the country disguised as trains, and that's why they clank and clunk, because they're having their dragon battles every night. And partly because I read so poorly out loud. I just never did it. I always had anxiety about it. I had an opportunity to read my audiobook, and my publisher asked me to read it. I'm like, there's no chance I'm doing this. This is my worst skill. And I convinced her to hire an actor, Michael Rourke. And so Michael Rourke came in to record my audiobook. And I was explaining, Michael Rourke hit it like 95% on the first time I've ever read, but he wanted to get it 100%. So he kept asking me what the voices sounded like. And as I was showing him how to do the voices, I realized, oh boy, I'd really love to record this book myself. So I ended up paying Michael Rourke my entire fee for that I would have paid him for recording the book, for teaching me in that hour that I could do it. And then I spent 2 weeks recording a book that took me 2 weeks to write. So it's only 100 and something pages. And I meticulously read and read for 2 weeks straight. Sent it to my publisher. She's like, the performance is fantastic, but there's a buzz in the background. I'm going to need you to redo it. And Audible.com is super picky about the buzz. So I had no problem redoing it because I wanted to do a better job. And I actually developed a better skill at doing it through the first time. It was also easily 45 to 50 degrees inside the small booth that I created. So it was about 40 degrees out that summer. It's a really hot summer. But on top of that, to soundproof, like you start soundproofing and all you can find is more and more sound. I was inside a tent that I made out of sleeping bags when it was already 40 degrees, just sweating buckets, getting shocks from the microphone. And I recorded the entire book twice. So it took me a month to read the book. And my little boy, who's 11, has the entire book memorized from listening to me do sentence. And I basically would read a paragraph and then go back and cut out 5 lines. And I basically, for every paragraph I read, there was a usable line. And so I did a lot of splicing together as well. But anyways, Felix and he's got my book memorized, which I don't know if that's that healthy, but he does. And we're walking down the street and he started speculating, well, if the trains are all dragons and what's this and what's that. And he'd come to the conclusion that all the cars are dragon's eggs
rolling around.
And so I painted this because of what he said. And then coincidentally, while I was painting this, his step grandmother-in-law was making him a one-eyed, one-horned flying purple people eater. That's way too much explanation. The open bid for this is $5.
A story like that.
The story alone is
right? I'll be 20.
And then it has been so liberating for us to realize that we can bring this place to a really comfortable, supportive end next year. And so it's not a bad time to stockpile a few paintings you could just throw under your couch, because you might have use for this in the next few years. You know, like at first you're like, and we did that. We bought paintings because they're good, but we're not hanging them in our house. I don't know where this would go.
So
maybe in the kitchen when you're making eggs, but he's kind of looking at you, you know, like people talk about not liking magpies. What don't you like about magpies? They eat other birds' eggs. I'm like, what'd you have for breakfast? Like, they're noisy. I'm like, we're noisy.
Yeah.
You know?
so noisy. So the RAM is currently at 30 to Tobias. Is that correct, everyone? Yeah, perfect. So should we time some of these out, or should we leave it open?
This is crappy because you're new and I don't want to like put you on the spot, but my principal's kind of like a RAM kind of guy, and he's new and he's kind of like, I'm gonna bid on this 35 because I might give it to my principal, but that's not to say you can't bid higher. But I feel you're so nice. I feel bad against bidding against you. But so I'm gonna bid 35.
More, I'll be honest.
We're gonna fight over that tiger.
Probably a little bit.
Probably a little bit.
The tire?
The tiger.
Oh, the tiger. Do you have the bid on the tiger?
I think I.
It's currently at 75 to Jess.
Oh. 80?
Did you bid 80?
80.
Yeah,
Maybe.
plus you got an extra 35 to play with there. Hey,
Yeah, right? 85.
$100.
Ooh.
110.
Oh.
to be honest, like if this wasn't here, and I don't do this all the time, if I were to open up an actual art gallery, I probably wouldn't sell this for less than $600. So I think $100 is like
Yeah.
it's quite a steal. And you know, like I bought Morgan's monkeys last week, and he wasn't crazy about them, but I was like, those are great.
Morgan's the same one that did the one that Elisa has.
Yeah.
You gotta show them the picture.
Dusty bid 25 on the dragon egg.
Oh, that's nice. So I got 35 for the ram. Do I?
Yeah.
Going once, twice, 3 times with a 10-minute lag.
Sorry.
And this is done, right? Who got the magpie?
27 on mine.
Kelly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, put it there.
And
Perfect.
then, do I have the rat? G. Gordon Liddy.
Numbers.
He's the man that ate that rat.
Yeah, $5 to Rich.
Okay.
Oh no, $10 to Morgan. Sorry. $10 to Morgan.
The route is really cute.
Richard bid $30 on the one eye. The dragon.
Richard from Illinois?
Yeah.
You guys know about Richard from Illinois? He's been joining us online from Illinois for 2 years, I think.
Yeah, if not more, because he was joining us over COVID by
And
himself without
Richard
saying
has
anything.
been such an amazing supporter, and we mail out stuff to Richard, and Richard bought a ton of really nice stuff. And Richard had a show that he was waiting 2 years to put together, and I don't know what possessed him. He decided to exhibit me beside him in Illinois. So about a month ago, we looked really hard into flying out to Illinois to go to the opening of the show November 11th. Now, what it meant was we would have to spend 2 teacher days, which is
Dusty bid 35. Sorry.
I think it'd work out to $250 times 4. So it'd be $1,000 for the time off. And we would have been on the airplane like 20 hours there and 20 hours back with lots of stopovers for a half an hour opening, or like we'd have like basically half an hour at the art opening, and we're totally like jamming to get this done. The only thing is it also is Remembrance Day, so we couldn't necessarily get the back-to-back days off because we can't put our teacher days off on long weekends. And it's not a long weekend, but we didn't kind of really know that.
Yeah.
So we have booked a flight to Chicago, and then
So we're having the Rumble on the 27th of December. Then the Thursday morning we fly out to Chicago and we stay in Chicago for a night. We're going to go visit the Art Institute of Chicago. And then we're going to fly out to Marion, Illinois and visit Richard for the weekend.
yeah, and we were going to have a closing, except from the galleries closed that weekend, but they're going to open it for us to go in and look around. So kind of like those scenes in the movies where you get to go in when nobody's there. It's kind of going there, but it's really nice when Richard bids on stuff because it also means that it might be internationally famously shown in Illinois.
Yeah.
And that's actually like a really sweet gift that he waited for his show, but included me in his show. And it kind of happened so fast that like we basically sort of found out just in enough time that we almost made it out there. But school gets in the way sometimes.
It helps us eat, but then it also is. So this is by Alex here. The Many Faces of Fear and Frustration. Opening is 120. This is acrylic on canvas.
So my son, who has a job now, he's 21, Oliver, my older son, and grew up here. Where's Alex? Contacted you and bought a piece. And that makes me so proud that my kids spend money on art. Like it really, you know, and there's days where it's like, you wonder if raising your kids at the Rumble House is the best thing to do for them.
I would think so.
And
It's worse
it
things,
absolutely is,
Yeah.
but they've seen stuff that kids don't usually see. Like we do things like, here's a weird one. It wasn't too long ago that a guy was stabbed at the train across the alley and came and died by our dumpster. And so I get home late from school. There's like police blockade around the block. I'm like, maybe we don't go to the gallery tonight. They're probably looking for me. And then people start phoning. They're like, dude, what's going on at the gallery? I'm like, I'm not there. It wasn't me. And there was somebody who passed. And then when they pull the tape down, they're done the investigation. 2 or 3 weeks can pass, and there's still a blood stain on the ground. So you don't want to tamper with evidence, but we do go with like buckets of bleach and bleach down the sidewalk because that's the life we live, right? And then we've had friends that like phoned us up. Somebody recently posted on our thing like, I love Rumble House, but it's too dangerous downtown. I'm like, well, I live down here with my wife and my 10-year-old. I hope it's not too dangerous for us, but we love it here, and they've seen some weird stuff, and I love seeing my boys interact with people that are struggling and not feel like they're judging them or that they're just willing to interact and help.
Also that they're growing up around art and artists and a different way of
Helping
communicating
people
too. Yeah.
and wanting to buy artwork.
This is so beautiful.
This is also something that I often do. It's an ongoing kind of theme for me, that movement. And I mean, it's very graphic, right? But you've also got a cubist piece here. And the very nature of what cubism is that you're showing all sides of this being. And as graphic as it is, it's interesting because I don't know if Picasso ever thought to be so literal about showing all sides of things, but it is a very interesting take on cubism.
Reminds me of Alex Gray quite a bit.
Oh
Alex.
yeah.
And this is nice because this painting can scream for you when you're too tired. You know?
Oh, that's a nice way to put it.
Scream.
Right?
So good.
What is the bid for this?
120 is the opening bid.
120. And would you like to hang a show?
Really?
Yeah. On our blue wall there.
I'd love to.
Okay.
That's
So let's keep
amazing.
this at 120. And if it doesn't get the 120 bid in the next 10 minutes, we're just going to shove it off to the side and put it in the show. And we'll try and push it at like 120. Maybe it goes for 500. That'd be great too. But like, actually, ideally, I'd love to see this up on the wall with a collection of your work, if that's cool with you.
I'd love to do
All right. I pretty much just screwed you over for the 120 tonight. Though. Oh, I heard a ding.
Who knows? Who knows?
I hope
Oh
it's,
no, it's
I
a
hope it's a ding.
question. He
I hope
says-
it's a ding because before I say this,
Yeah.
I would think when you
It's a
put it in the
question.
show, you'll put it up at your studio price, not at the opening bid price. So
That's
Is-
the other thing.
is
Yeah.
that the
that's
question? Is it
no. The
Yeah.
question is different, but it's like that's the other thing that it's like kind of that
We're kind of gambling and donating ourselves to the cause when we put our pieces in the auctions, but when you put a show
Yeah.
up, you put it at full price, right? So
at your price, yeah. So no, it was Morgan asking, does he make happy art too?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. You do really, yeah, such a wide range of different pieces.
Turn it around upside down.
Oh my god, what Alex.
I'm working on kind of a surreal.
watch this for
Oh
happy.
yeah. Do you want to show what you're working on?
It's nice.
Morgan, check this out. Alex was working on this one earlier. It's so beautiful.
Okay, I think this is timed out. The one-eyed, warm-home, flying purple people leader. One-eyed,
you time
warm-home,
that one
flying
out?
purple people
Here, you
leader.
can
One-eyed,
I saw that
warm-home,
as soon as I
flying
walked
purple
in.
people leader.
It's so beautiful.
Here, let me pull it this way. Nope, don't be shy about covering me.
Wow.
Yeah, I still got a bunch of jellyfish to finish on this one, and I'm probably going to be adding a couple more details as well.
Nice.
Wow. That's sick. That's beautiful.
Okay, let's end this. Who's got the rat?
Let's end this. Morgan at 10.
You dirty rat! You dirty rat! Okay, so Morgan's got this at what?
10.
10. Okay. I think I got the deer ram, right? Is that correct?
35.
35. And then who's got the purple leader? That's timed out, right?
35 to Dusty.
Okay.
You didn't time it out yet.
Okay, going once, going twice, going 3 times. How much for the whale? It's not done yet.
Just wait.
You will have to wait. You can have it.
Next week.
So did you go once, twice to For the
Okay,
eye? Okay.
let's make this a little more clear. Going once, twice, 3 times. It's embarrassing when I put up the wrong numbers. For the purple people eater at $35.
Perfect.
Okay,
So
and then
it's
10-minute lag.
Perfect.
And then this one's done
That
the
one's-
lag, right?
Yeah, that was timed out.
Timed out to Kelly. Kelly.
Okay.
And then wait, this is important.
Oh yeah, time that one out. 45 to Debbie.
$45 to Debbie.
Going once, going twice, going 3 times. 10 minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
How about this toque?
My toque. How about is this here? No, this is from Allie. So working here, there's a series
Can I
of
put them through order and then can I do that? I'll stop when I get to the purple.
so opening
Whose are
is
these?
Allie.
Come on over.
Opening is $25 for the collection. Yeah, do you want to go say hi?
Sure.
So what's the material you're working in?
Actually these are jelly rolls, so they're an archival ink that acts like paint, and I really love the vibrancy on like black.
And do you like jazz?
Wow.
Jazz?
Yeah.
I used to be in jazz band in school.
Have you ever heard of Jelly Roll Morton?
Jelly roll?
I feel like maybe.
Also, Allie was the one that sent me the hilarious picture that I just started laughing at on the phone. It's a picture of a cat holding its own tail and showing its butt, but then it's a drawing of a cat holding its own tail showing its butt.
Can I just say
Just so
something
you know,
about these?
I was giggling to myself because of the cat.
What is your opening bid?
25.
Okay, I'm gonna bid 25 and I'll tell you why. Is there's a young person in my never mind. Not in my class, just somewhere.
Yes, a human.
And in the span of my life, I've taught kids that might indicate that they're struggling. And sometimes they will relieve stress by drawing gore. And then there's always this talk about whether you have to go to the counselor's office. At what point does the gore become like, what's the word? Like when you're not doing your due diligence, right? So this person that I may or may not know was drawing some gore. And because I love that you're drawing, it's really good, but you're like at 2 pen marks away from both of us being sent to the counselor's office, right? And I was trying to say, without, because let's talk about like dinks for a second. Changing the subject. Sorry about that, Jordan. Kids draw dinks. They think they're funny.
Yeah.
And they'll have sketchbooks and there'll be a penis in the sketchbook. And I always just pretend it's a rocket, right? I'm like, I get it. I love rockets too. I draw rockets. I think about riding on rockets. You know, rockets are my favorite. I'm obsessed with rockets, and all the kids are like, it's not a rocket. It's not a rocket. And then they get sent to the office for drawing rockets, right? And it's like, I'm sitting here thinking, for 5 years, this guy came in and kept drawing like roosters and made cock jokes because it's funny. And adults grow up, they start drawing dinks again. Like it's just something that people draw, and it's not dirty, it's not wrong. Feels weird to talk about, but it's I'm giving these kids shit for stuff that normal artists do all the time, right? And so I draw gore. I draw gore when I'm in a bad mood, right? Sometimes I'll draw somebody that's bugging me being eaten by a rabbit. Like that's how I cope with what's better than feeding them to a rabbit, And so there was a kid having some trouble and did the drawing with the gore. And I didn't want to crap on the drawing, and I didn't want to be one of those people that took that away from them. And I just said, listen, we're artists and we manifest. This was a blank piece of paper, and in science, you can't make something out of nothing. But in art, you can take a nothing and you manifest something that didn't exist before. And I know that you've got some troubles in your life, but when you put this kind of magic onto a piece of paper, you're manifesting those things. Oh,
Yeah.
I should go draw something nice.
Oh.
And this one here specifically, I'd pay $25 for if there was such a real student to give them, because this really makes me think of that kind of nice thing that student was struggling to draw. That sometimes you say things and it's like we're these meat cages and we can't connect. But when I explained that the manifestation of nothing into something is a very powerful and dangerous thing, that student instantly understood. It's also like the thing that we have trouble with, Jess and I, when kids are struggling within their own families to choose their names or their identities or their genders, is that for an artist to pick your name is a very powerful moment, right? To pick something bigger than your name, to change your name and become a new thing is a very powerful moment for artists. And I think that's where the idea of manifestation really matters. So I'm going to bid 25. Again, after that story, you'd have to be a total bumhole to bid against me. But for this stack, I can tell you, I'd pay 25 for these two.
Oh,
and I'm going to end up giving, but okay, does anybody want to bid on this? Because the next thing I say will make me impervious to be bidded against. For $25, I'm going to give these, I'm going to put these in my desk and I'm going to funnel them out to the kids that need them over the next 5 years. Not one every day, but I will have an arsenal of joy and happiness to save children's lives with. And that's a pretty good deal for $25.
That's magic. That's magic.
Do I hear 26? Jesse did this. We have these conversations sometimes because
There is this really.
she doesn't try nearly as hard as I try, but she makes these leaps and bounds without the effort, and it really pisses me off sometimes. When I met her, she used to always draw the hands in the pockets, or it's just lumps or flippers. You know this trick? You put the hands in the pockets if you don't like to draw hands, or if you can't do two eyes the same, you put bangs over one of them. I'm not saying that I taught her how to do this. We also have this thing where it's like I can beat her the first 3 times we play any board game, because my mind will look at that game and find a brand new way to beat it that nobody's ever used before. And I can do that 3 times in a row before I get distracted and don't want to play anymore. But every time she sees me play a board game, she will integrate my strategy better than me the second time we play. And it means I can beat her at any board game 3 times because I play the game and I invent a brand new strategy out of the rules that exist and I win. The second time we play, I know she's going to steal my idea, and all I need to do is bank on her stealing my first idea, and I'll win. The third time, I will predict again which of the 2 ideas I came up with she's going to think is the best, and I'll beat her the third time, and then after that, I can't beat her again. And this would be that moment where like these 2 objects are far more powerful than anything I've drawn in the last 2 years, and they're tiny.
So it's watercolor on.
It's watercolor and it's adrenaline.
Oh. So it's Horus or the falcon. This came up in the.
I say adrenaline because when she was like 16, she got a tattoo right there that looks a lot like this. So you guys wouldn't know about that tattoo, but I do.
So
what's your opening bid for this?
$5.
50. I'll bid 50 on this.
This came from Irving Layton, one of the pieces of inspiration. It's called Divine Image. Swiftly darting in the setting light, the doomed sparrow feels the falcon's wings. How beautiful are both in flight.
It's us.
Can you pass that one around?
Nope. It's
You bid on it.
Stuck.
What's the bid on the tiger right now?
On the what?
110.
Did we do the timeout? I don't think we did.
We haven't, no.
I think we're
not
kind of
done yet.
banking on
Let's
this one
try-
riding up to 1,000. $110 going once. You'll have to spend the rest of your life not looking into these eyes of the tiger. I'll sing.
150.
What?
Oh.
150 going once. 150 going twice.
160.
Oh. $200.
$200 going once, $200 twice, $200 going 3 times. We call that a smackdown. I think, can we disagree? We're not even going to give a 10-minute lag. I like the way you roll. And, rising up, straight to the top. Did Felix's piece get a bid?
No,
No.
we were saying I think people love seeing him sell his own work. So we
Right.
can always
Okay.
put it
We'll
in.
hold on to it.
Yeah.
We can put up a show. What's
So,
this? Is this sold?
I think yeah.
Mama Zabo?
Yeah.
What was the bid? Oh, I have
It
it.
was 60 to you.
Ah.
Petite
No.
bid.
Well, this is the other thing we do is like, I know somebody that would like this for Christmas. If I buy it for $60, there's nothing I could probably buy your mother for $60 that she would want because she has everything.
Right.
But if I have this in my back pocket, the only problem it does cause a little strife is right before Christmas when we're going to go to each other's family's house, we have this stockpile of stuff that we each actually bought out of the auction. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to give that to my Auntie Penny. She's like, no, it's for my mom. And it's like, oh, ding. Huge thank you to my buyer. I think that's Morgan thanking for the
Oh,
buyer.
that's so nice. Thanks, Morgan.
Morgan.
Morgan says thank you. That was very nice.
Thank you for painting.
Yeah, right? Okay. What's happening now? That was scary.
You ever do like a power yawn? Have you ever tried like scream yelling? No, scream sneezing.
No.
Do you? Who said all the time? Yeah, right. So I was teaching. This is 10 years ago. This kid does a scream sneeze. I'm like, dude, you did that on purpose. It's like you should try it. I'm like,
Sage
seriously? He's like, my
advice.
dad does it too. I'm like, okay. And the next time I felt the sneeze coming, I just not only did I let her rip full force, but I also kind of like backed it up with like a black shoe. And I felt like 3 vertebrae in my neck click back into place, and like my soul left my body and came back inside.
Did you bid me on the?
Yeah. Okay, fine, 5. I'll bid 5.
10.
Oh, you asshole. What?
15.
20.
It's gonna go to 50 anyway.
This makes it more fun.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Builds it
fair.
up, builds it up.
$20 going once, $20 going twice, $20 going 3 times with a 10-minute lag.
Wait, who's that too? Oh, it's Stephanie. Thank you so much.
You get 10 minutes. I mean, I could pay 50, but we also have to keep the gallery open. So
Please do. Yeah.
What did she say?
opening bid on the backpack.
65?
Yeah.
Okay.
A mochila. Hey, yeah. Take care. Oh, thank you. Look at that.
Oh, wow. Is that?
Do you need change?
No, it's done.
Oh,
Did you
Thank
come in
you.
here plan to drop $200 or?
I came in here for dirt.
What a great idea, though. What a great idea to walk in with $200 just in case, you know? So thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks, you
much.
guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll be back.
Thank you. So nice seeing you.
Nice to meet you. Cheers. See you next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so this, if you are in need of a backpack, would be a pretty bitchin' backpack. Trying to scare people away from stealing your stuff. This is by Kelly, and the opening bid for this polar bear with light up eyeballs is $65. There's even a glow in the dark snaky in his hair. Oh yeah, it's a drawstring backpack. And he also
Somebody
has
just sing,
glow in-
opening my bid on the backpack. Oh, it's
Yeah.
Kelly.
glow in the dark fangs, and usually it's like handmade glow in the dark fangs. Opening is $65.
Thanks for the backpack.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. So opening bid.
And turn the up. I actually really like the idea of just leaving these in your car overnight because we live downtown. And if I saw this in a car and I was thinking of breaking in, I would not break in.
Right. So
Dark seed.
so cute. Okay.
Yeah. Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay. That was by Kelly.
Yeah.
And
What's happening with the earth turtle?
Earth Turtle?
Yeah, who's that? That one timed out, right?
That's timed out.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's going to Mama. This one's for Mama.
I think we've timed everything.
Did you put this one in?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Rich goes for late night bike rides down 8th Avenue. And it was a warm night the other night. And there was these two ladies having a cigarette as I was cruising down the 8th Avenue. And there's all these people walking around behind. And sometimes this is very nice. I was just doodling, but I completely captured the moment. If you want to just pass that around.
Oh, yeah.
Opening bid $5 and the frame's probably worth $5. But I was just cruising down 8th Ave during the party night and almost ran them over with my fat bike. And what do we got here?
This is Morgan and this is Alvin. So this is one of Alvin's pieces.
Alvin hung a show and he completely sold out. It was amazing.
Yeah.
This is the Devonia Gardens.
Yeah. So when it gets cold outside, the gardens are always warm.
Yeah.
You can forever find cute little teddy bears.
Where's
So opening at
did we have
30.
our neighbor across the street bring us something?
Yeah, she brought one of her friends painted an
Eggs?
ostrich egg.
Ostrich.
So this is by Jennifer Davidson, painted an ostrich egg. So last. Whoa, that sounded good.
Also, sometimes we drop artwork off. And last weekend we're driving around dropping off artwork. What were the other heavy things we had in the car? But a bunch of crazy heavy things.
paintings
Yeah, and then we
And
also
tires.
yeah, and tires. And then
And-
we and then so I'm throwing all these tires in the car. And I saw Jess meticulously diving in to move things. And like it wasn't until the end of the day that I knew the whole day we had an ostrich egg art piece that we already sold kicking around in the car. And
I
so
kept moving it like, oh, I gotta move this here. I gotta move
you
this
could
here.
have just told me also.
I could have.
Yeah,
100%.
right.
$5, right?
A $5,
$5,
yeah.
yeah.
Bidding.
$5.
10.
10 to Drayden?
13.
13.
15.
Okay. 15.
Sorry.
This is the ostrich egg by
Are
Jennifer.
you supposed to put ostrich eggs on your face? Like maybe I just gave myself salmonella. Or...
Oh, yeah.
These are some of Brenda's watercolors.
These are a few of Brenda's things. Da la la da, da la la da, da la la da da, da 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 da. It's getting a little late. Go to bed.
It was like all emotional. There's things, and then Rich started scream singing.
Straight down the edge. Yeah.
No Pasco.
So funny. Yeah.
Opening for these are $40 each for these folders.
You know what the really funny thing is? And I'm actually trying to. So, like, I don't know, about 10 years ago, I accidentally discovered I was autistic. And I knew I was attention deficit. I knew that I was, there was some talk about me being oppositional defiant. No, I'm not! And then dyslexic, but I also read too well for dyslexia. And then there's a series of, like, concoction of, like, soup problems that made Rich Tea Room.
Soup.
None of those things bothered me until I came across the diagnosis of autism, which I kind of cried a little bit. But Not a lot, but I made an effort to start talking about it because I did want to normalize. And actually, one of the most magic moments in my life was when I first started talking about it. This young man in my school had Down syndrome, and his best friend was autistic, and they were talking about what it was like to be different. He was telling her it was harder for him because people could see that he was different. And I heard him talk about Down syndrome, and I didn't realize that this was a thing that they were going to talk about. And I went and sat next to him. I said, I'm sorry, but did I just hear you say Down syndrome? And it wasn't in an accusatory way or anything. Yeah, he just started talking about what it's like. And I said, do you know what autism is? He's like, yeah, I know what autism is. And I was like, yeah. He goes, Mr. Taylor, do you have the autism? I'm like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I thought you did. And then that's when I found out the kids in that room would call everybody else the normals, and I would call the other people the neurotypicals. But I thought it was funny that they would, with disdain, say the normals are coming. The normals are coming. But here's the funny thing is, it was only halfway through singing that song when everybody was laughing that I stopped and wondered, am I doing something weird? There are little moments, like I think I'm highly, what's the word? High functioning?
Yeah.
And I think I mask well. Can we say that, or is that not true? I mask enough that you might just think I was eccentric. And so perfect example is I went down to the office the other day.
They just
And,
wanted to see them. They just
I
wanted
know, that's fine.
Okay.
And I needed to ask Janet something, and Janet was talking to Sam and let's say Julie. It doesn't matter what their real names are. But I walked into the office, I looked at Sam, Janet, and Julie, and I said, I have this question. They said, well, you have to ask Janet. So I walked away from the three of them to go to Janet's office and ask the question. And I took about 3 steps and went, they're all looking at me funny. What am I doing that's weird? And I looked back and I realized I asked Janet where she was because she wasn't in her office. And my brain didn't process that if she wasn't in her office, she must be some other Janet. And
oh, Janet.
those little things happen to me sometimes, but for the most part, I hide them well. But also when I was singing, it was just as I was singing, it's like, oh, everybody's laughing. This must not be what everybody else does.
It's good. It was perfect. Yeah. Dino is asking to see the watercolors.
Right. No, and I went too fast.
It's okay. I like when if people should just, like. I'm glad that they ask just to.
And there is still 12 people with us online tonight. So in the olden days, there would be.
Can you show the 2 mountain ones again slowly?
See, that's the oppositional defiance kicking in because you said slowly.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just saying now I want to just flick them like as fast as I can. Here's me going slowly.
We love Dinah.
I'm obnoxious. These really feel like when you go to Banff and you see those like kind of vintage.
Dinah's laughing. I can center. Yeah, so beautiful. All right.
Alrighty then. We do figure drawing on Thursdays. So here's some nice figure drawings we did. Nick and Buddies. I think this is a nice one. Any of these you could have for $5. $5 maximum bid. So if you want one, there's just a couple. If you want one, come and grab it, and they're $5. If you don't want one, that's okay. If you want me to put a bathing suit on them, I can.
There's those 2.
These two are framed, and it's just that here's a weird thing. This is not how I'm supposed to value my artwork, but I like that these 2 frames match. So, like, I'm actually open the bidding at these 2 for $20.
They're so beautiful. I know.
But not Drayden. Because I used to teach him. And some weird boundary issues there. I can't really put into words. There's this other funny story about boundaries.
Like calling you rich. Yeah.
Yeah, because he graduated and we can be friends now. But here's a funny story. One of my kids graduated and she came in here with her boyfriend and everybody's bidding on piece. And it was a glass piece and there's a little knob that pulls and a tube on the end. And it was either a vase or a bong, right? And so we're selling this vase that might be a bong. And these 2 former students are bidding on it. And I'm like, I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know how to stop you, but I really like it if you stop bidding on this piece. And they were in college, and it's not illegal, and there's implications, and I don't know how to like zero out these two students that I used to teach bidding on a glass bong that I didn't make. And so they buy it, and I totally forget about it. But then it turns out that the boyfriend bought it and gifted it to the girlfriend, who was the older sister of a student I was still teaching. And when she went off to college, she hid the bong in her brother's closet. And so here's this kid in my class who his parents find this bong that they bought at Mr. Taylor's art studio in the closet. And that's not even the funniest part. The funniest part is they didn't find it until he left for college. And the parents are like, what is this? And he's like, listen, if I bought a bong and left it here while I was going to college, that would be all wrong. Anyways, it's funnier in context of being a teacher than it is probably sitting in this audience. But did you get some bids on the nudies?
Yeah, a lot happening.
Oh,
So,
that's nice.
so this is good. This one's going to Richard.
Richard, that's nice.
At some point, I will write something down. I promise.
Sure.
This is good.
This is a funny one because my very first figure drawing session at art school when I was 17 was we went into the classroom. It was a 6-hour study. It so happened, it's not. It is very sort of non. I don't want to objectify, but there's nothing romantic about nude figure drawing, right? It's just a thing you do in art school. Maybe the first 5 minutes of it, you feel a little bit like of an adjustment, right? But what happened with me is I was 17. We went in and the teacher said, set up where you want and just paint the room. And so I set up quite near where the model was going to be, and I painted the chair in the room. And then we went for lunch. When we came back, I realized I'd set myself up way too close to the model. So that was uncomfortable. But also, it was my first experience drawing the nude model, and it wasn't at all in any way like silly. I guess it's the best way I could describe it. And so when our model came last week, something happened that we stalled a little bit. And in the time I had in advance, I had a chance to paint the background in behind the model. And because I was using gouache, I waited for we named this pose Norman. Because her first pose was like a 5-minute pose. And I was like, can we name this pose Norman? Yeah. And she's like, what are you saying? I'm like, well, let's just say if we call this pose Norman, later on when we do a longer pose, can we come back to Norman? She's like, oh, I'm quite comfortable. And then later on for one of the 10-minute poses, we went back to Norman. And I was able to superimpose the figure onto the... This is special to me only in the sense that I had a chance to paint the background. Normally you rush the background.
Yeah.
And then all those paintings sell, those ones? All of them?
I think I'm asking Dinah currently because Dinah bid well, was it just $5 or was it just opening bid $5?
Did you bid on a bunch of stuff and you didn't get them? Have you got some things that you
I
like?
got one, yeah.
Okay.
It was the tiger.
So this one
You got the tiger?
No, he got the
is
tiger.
at 5 and that one's at 5. And I'm just checking. Oh, and then Dinah bid on this one 5 too. So are they at 5 or like that's what
I said $5 max just to move them.
Oh.
This is my favorite. These were all like 2-minute drawings. And I just threw them all on the same page.
Just did anyone bid on that last one?
This one?
Yeah.
This is available.
$5.
$5. Thank you. Hold that one for a second.
Ta-da!
This. What is that?
Do you want to put this one in?
If you want to.
Opening bid $50 for this one. It's the same
5.
model.
Let's start at 5. At least the counters. Drop the 0.
I'll bid $5. We traded.
You already own it.
I know. I just want to share it. What's remarkable is that this model is from England, or yes, she's from England, but she was doing her schooling in Scotland,
yeah,
and then came here for her education. And my daughter asked why I never draw her, and because I do draw my sons, and I did draw my daughter a lot when she was younger, but I think it's the distance where I don't draw her right now. Is that she's in London, England, and I just don't sit with her enough to draw her. But this actually looks a lot more like my daughter even than the model, and so that's what I really loved about this drawing is it looks like my daughter.
So fun. So yeah, Dinah's out in Lethbridge, so it's super fun. We'll mail those pieces. This is Richard. And sorry, this is cute. This little cute bee.
Wow.
This is a queen bee crocheted this little fuzzies and got little legs and little wings. And this is by Praxis. The opening is 15. What was that sound? This is also by Brenda. This is an acrylic on canvas. Little daisies.
What's your favorite flower?
Right. I couldn't tell the difference. Like I love them so much.
Oh.
I love lilies.
You love lilies.
Yeah.
Are they poisonous?
They're the flower of death.
Yeah, they're poisonous. Drayden, do you have a favorite flower?
Wood lily.
Oh.
And do you have a favorite flower?
Peonies.
What?
Peonies.
Peonies.
What's your favorite flower?
Sweet peas.
Favorite flower?
They're all so good.
Sunflower.
What?
Sunflower.
Sunflower's a good one. Favorite flower?
Sweet peas.
Favorite flower?
I don't know. I really like roses when you split them and then dye them like green.
Oh. What's your favorite flower, Steph?
I don't know exactly what it's called in English.
What's it called in not English? What?
Trombonche. It's a type of flower that kind of looks like what was it called? Kind of like a gramophone.
It looks like a gramophone. Oh.
Oh.
Favorite flower?
A mix between peonies and hydrangeas.
Okay. My second favorite flower by far is a daisy. Do you know my favorite flower?
Dandelion.
My favorite flower is a dandelion.
That's so cute.
And it's the same with the magpies. And the funny thing, she's got a magpie that represents me on her arm, and I've got a canary that represents her on my arm. And people hate magpies. I love magpies. The funny thing about me and magpies, I don't really pay attention to stuff. So where I was saying Drayden knows what a moose looks like from the drawing, I didn't know what a magpie was most of my adult life, and I grew up in Calgary. And I did know there was a bird that I thought was majestic, and I apparently told my mom when I was a kid that my brother was a magpie. And I just thought this blue and green and white oil slick of a bird seemed so interesting. And I remember seeing one sitting on a fence. There's a dog in the yard, a really vicious dog in the yard attached to a chain. And the bird was jumping down and scooting towards the dog, and it would stop at a certain point where the dog would run out to get it and then clothesline itself on the chain and do like a backflip to its back, fly up to the. And I thought, that's a funny bird. And then I later on found out that this bird also collected junk, like shiny objects. And when I'm defending magpies, people say they're noisy. And I said earlier, they eat other birds' eggs, but so do we. And I've always loved magpies. I think I was 25 when I realized that the bird that everybody hated and the bird that I loved was the same bird. But the other thing, because I would have told you at 25 at that age that a dandelion, what's this?
Daisy.
A daisy is my favorite flower. And I did buy my daughter daisies for Valentine's Day every year when she was a little old. She's 30 now, but when she was a baby. And but I've always loved dandelions, and I love dandelions because they're great, and I love dandelions for a million reasons. But the thing I actually love most about dandelions is it's one of those things I can count on us all having in common. Is not only did some of us forget that dandelions are our favorite flower, but I know that for every single one of us, and I mean literally every single one of us, the first time you put a bouquet of flowers together for your mom, it was dandelions.
That's true.
unless there's places in the world where they don't grow dandelions. I don't know if that's true, but every single kid ends up going up and grabbing a handful of dandelions and giving that bouquet to their mom, and they probably gave the same bouquet to their grade 1 teacher. And then you go through this kind of momentary embarrassment at a certain age when somebody tells you that they're not flowers. And there really isn't such thing as a flower. It's just a flower and a weed is just, it's like you and me, you know? It's like you're what you eat.
And this lovely silk scarf is hand dyed by Dusty. So Dusty joins us from her studio. She's often found weaving in her studio online with us. She's an acrylic painter, an oil painter, but lately she's been getting into dyeing fabrics. So this was dyed once and then rewrapped and then dyed again in a blue. So then it mixed colors to make these beautiful vivid greens. And so this one is opening at $20.
How much have I spent tonight?
I don't think you actually. I don't think you got.
I know I got the
$25
$60,
for
I got
sure.
the $60 one.
Oh yeah.
What would you rather spend your money on? You know, like
It's so true. No, I think you're doing okay. You got the other one from last week from her. Okay. Okay. Are we doing good? Is this
well, there's pieces in the back we could sell, but I don't think we have to. I think everybody's having fun.
Is the vase gone? The glass?
no, the glass piece
Does that
Is
piece been up?
here.
Do you
Is that
know the
piece
last
been
bid was on it?
I don't think anyone bid on it, so I think it was
Can you tell me
opening.
if that piece has been up?
This one?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm finished.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna put something in there, but maybe I could show it.
Let's just show it because I think. What do you guys think of this?
Ooh.
Beautiful.
It is
The bowl was starting at 40. Was the bowl at
40. Yeah.
40.
Bowl is currently at 40. I could
You're
take
like
it
me
off. And
that is complete and perfect on
It
its own,
is.
but you still
Can I
want to
do
put
45 for the bowl?
45 for the bowl, yes.
you still want to put Thumper in it or something, hey?
I guess I don't need to. I can pass it around if someone likes it. We can sell it. So I put Belinda, not Brenda, first of all, and 45 to Elisa. And I'm gonna cut this off. See,
Are you cutting it off before you sell it, just in case it doesn't come off?
what do you mean? It comes off.
Does it come off as thick as you want?
No,
Is that how that works? That's a page.
that's the page because it's.
It'd
there's
be interesting to have a
separate-
pad like that where you could decide as you've done your piece
Oh,
how thick
yeah.
you wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a magic jungle grove.
Pretty,
I have these beautiful watercolors that I've just been so much enjoying.
Did anybody bid on this?
No one bid on it yet.
What's the starting?
So the starting for that one is $30. Yeah, so that's Alvin's, and you have the last one on this one. Okay, do we time this out? Do you want to time it
Going
out?
once, going twice, going 3 times.
And it's at $20.
$20. Thank you. Do you want to take it?
Keep it there. Yeah. Oh no, it was at 15 the last.
$15.
Yeah, it was at 15.
Well, for all the pain I've caused Teru over the years, an extra $5 will be fine.
And then I can
You
show
never cost me pain.
a 5 opening.
And kids are allowed to wear their
5?
hats at school because
5
of you.
to Alex.
I still wear that as a badge of
I don't
honor.
know.
That's probably my greatest accomplishment.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's your opening bid?
Alex has it currently at 5.
5?
5, yeah. There's some bits. So the idea of digital art if you would like to print it and sell it, would you say, is that what you were wondering? Because yeah, like people have sold prints of their digital works,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah, anything is welcome. Everything is welcome. So yeah, that is totally open.
We haven't
game.
sold any NFTs here yet.
Rishma bid $10 on my forest one. Thank you. Oh, 15. Is that Elisa?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm actually, like I said, I'm really looking at this thinking I would have painted into this too. But the nice thing about not
Look,
withholding-
it looks nice.
yeah, the nice thing about not painting into this is that whatever you put in here would have been fine, right? But what would you put, a bunny or a hawk or a boat? What would you put?
I was half thinking of like a hag and
A
half
hag?
thinking of a
but
bunny. That's
but
funny.
because of the way you frame this
16?
and the way it sits and the gape in the center,
Thank you.
by leaving that subject
Oh.
out,
It's a 20 to Rishma now.
it's an interesting piece. It doesn't always happen with empty spaces.
25?
Thank you.
But what happens here is you become the object in the painting or the subject of the painting, sitting in front of this by not putting in a duck or a hag.
By not always having to fill the space.
Well, no, and it doesn't always work this way.
Right.
Like sometimes you paint a landscape and it's like it feels like it could use a bear or a Volkswagen, like a Volkswagen and that or a rusty old bus.
Yeah.
But sometimes the way that this engulfs visually in terms of composition, if I was to teach this to my high school kids, the composition of this creates a pocket. And it's such a temptation to always fill. You just like, I could fill that pocket. That pocket is screaming to me to fill it, but by leaving it empty, we fill in the pocket and we fall into this painting, which is actually, I don't know who's going to get this, but what you'll have is a very simple holiday every time you pass it, right? Like here's a little holiday piece of paper. This was a piece of paper, but then we manifest, like I was saying before, and now you get to fall into this pocket whenever you need to.
Can I read you the poem that it came from?
Sure.
This is from Robert Lax. We got this book from Alexander Elliot. Our dreams have tamed the lions, have made pathways in the jungle, peaceful lakes. They have built new Edens, ever sweet and ever changing. By day, from town to town, we carry Edens in our tents and bring its wonders to the children who have lost their dream of home.
And when we first met and you had to go to the scary place, I'd say, don't worry, Jesse, I'm in your pocket. But this painting is definitely a pocket that you can fall into.
It's really sweet. Thank you. Okay, so it's currently at 25 to Elisa.
What other pieces do we have?
Well, we have this cute little piece by Theo.
Theo! So Theo's been selling his paintings with us for the last 10 years, is it? But Theo's been hoarding his paintings since the late 60s. And so he framed them all. He keeps them all. This one was done on the 25th day of the 8th month in the year of the 21, or it could have been done in the year of the 08. But these, does he go month, day, year?
August 25th, 21.
Okay,
Right,
so
yeah.
but sometimes you hold up one of Theo's paintings, and the consistency of the work, it's like sometimes like, oh, I remember where I was in August 25th in 2001. But he also has pieces from the 70s, and
This one's from 1998.
this artifact from the late 1900s. When were you born?
05.
Raise your hands if you're born in the late 1900s. Yeah, we're all artifacts too.
Rishma bid 30 on the watercolor.
We lived through Y2K.
But that goes back to like when I not only when I was a teenager, looking at the young teachers in my school, thinking they could have gone to Woodstock, right? They also seemed impossibly old to me. you know. And I remember when I was 18 thinking about being 28, and I thought, oh, do people still party when they're 28? Like, is that? Yeah, when you're a teenager, you think 24 means you're like, you know, geriatric. Oh, I have a cramp in my leg. I'm not being weird. It's
Talking about being geriatric.
Sitting too long.
And then boom.
No, like I would have thought somebody half my age when I was in high school was impossibly old.
I heard the thing.
Richard, oh, it was born in 1951.
20 years older than you.
That's the mid 1900s.
That's it. Richard,
But-
you're still
but
making
Richard-
art and being a full.
Richard
like,
looks like a teenager.
Yeah, you're. That's the thing. Age is just a number. Okay, so Richmond bid 30 on the watercolor. Just
35.
35. Stephanie. Emily, sorry. Stephanie, I did it right. Sorry. 35 to Stephanie. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you think you could sing "Shelter from the Rain" tonight?
Ooh. Sure.
You can do that.
Try.
Yeah.
It might be painful.
Well, you know, worst thing that could happen is everybody goes home. But at the end of the night, when we ask
I was-
politely,
I
sometimes
was gonna say
we get.
that.
What is it? No.
Okay. Okay, I'll try.
Do you guys want to hear Jesse sing tonight? That's how we know it's time to go home. Yes.
Yeah.
You can snap your fingers.
Shelter from the storm.
Snap your
Okay.
fingers if you really believe in fairies.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry for this. Oh, was that it?
Are you going to use the mic?
Sure. Okay. Just because it makes my voice sound nice.
I'm not. I just got stalled. I was trying to get by. Wait. Okay, whatever.
Was in another lifetime, one of toil and blood. When blackness was a virtue, the road was full of mud. I came in from the wilderness, a creature void of form. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. And if I pass this way again, you can rest assured I'll always do my best for her, on that I give my word. In a world of steel-eyed death and men who are fighting to be warm, come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Not a word was spoke between us, there was little risk involved. Everything up to that point had been left unresolved. Try imagining a place where it's always safe and warm. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. I was burned out from exhaustion, buried in the hair, poisoned in the bushes and blown out on the trail, hunted like a crocodile, ravaged in the corn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Suddenly I turned around and she was standing there with silver bracelets on her wrist and flowers in her hair. She walked up to me so gracefully and took my crown of thorns. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Now there's a wall between us, something has been lost. I took too much for granted, I got my signals crossed. Just to think that it all began on that uneventful morn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Well, the deputy walks on hard nails and the preacher rides a mount. But nothing really matters much, it's doom alone that counts. And the one-eyed undertaker, he blows a feudal horn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Now I've heard newborn babies wailing like a mourning dove, and old men with broken teeth stranded without love. Do I understand your question, man? Is it hopeless and forlorn? Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. In a little hilltop village, they gambled for my clothes. I bargained for salvation, and she gave me a lethal dose. I offered up my innocence and got repaid with scorn. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm. Well, I'm living in a foreign country, but I'm bound to cross the line. Beauty walks on razor's edge, someday I'll make it mine. If I could only turn back the clock to when God and her were born. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm.
Did you guys have fun tonight?
Heck yeah.
Oh my
you.
goodness.
And happy birthday, Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay,